Welcome to the Empowered by Design podcast. I'm so excited for this episode. I am here with my friend, bestie, Cat Harkins, and we are going to be talking about lots of things today. You've met Cat before, you're connecting with her again, and you have seen us do collaborations over the past couple of years, and we're at it again. This has been something we've been waiting to do, or waiting for the divine timing to show in our lives. We are hosting a retreat called Coming Home to You. We are talking about the retreat, but in a even broader sense, both of our journeys and in coming home to ourselves, being authentic, and the struggles, the rewards, the celebrations, and we're just getting real with you today. So welcome, Kat. I'm so excited that you're here.
Yay! Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk all the things, bring some real talk to it.
Yes. So if you're listening, just sit back, relax. We are having, it's like you're just being invited into our into our lives, into our room as we sit on our comfy, cozy couches. But we are doing, this is episode 179. So when as we were getting ready to push record, I said, I think this is 179. And Kat was like, get your angel book, which I love. This is why we're such great friends,
Yes.
because we love all the things. So I have my angel numbers book with me here again, as you've heard before on previous episodes. Sometimes I read that at circles, I will read whatever the date is. I'll read that angel number. Today, we're going to read 179 for celebrating this episode. 179 episodes. I always love.
Amazing.
I love celebrating them. Yes. Okay. So and what I love about it is that I get to open it up and it's a little bit of fun and surprise for me. So I love surprises, good ones. Love them. And love to just kind of see what the message is and then what we make of it. And this is what we do when we get together. Okay. So 179 is called emotional intelligence. Pay attention to your intuition. Of course, we love that here. Okay. Oh, okay. I know. I read the first sentence okay. The feelings that are not sitting right with you need to be acknowledged. They are your direct lines to the divine. Oh my gosh, this is so good for me today. Trust that you have the emotional intelligence within to pay these cues the attention they deserve and shift course appropriately. Where can you listen to your emotions today? Oh, I love that. I'm going to pause on that to just allow people to reflect on that message for themselves. And I have lots of thoughts. I'm sure you do too, which is what we love to do, is just kind of share what we invite you to take that breath, just kind of see what might have come up as I was reading, right? As you could see my reaction, things were coming up emotionally and physically for me, spiritually. And we invite you to check in with yourselves and make meaning. And then we will share ours. Mm-hmm. What came up for you?
Just right away, I think kind of coming into the episode, knowing that we're talking about the retreat and all of the things, emotional intelligence and intuition, for me is trust and knowing that you are taking all the steps, you are doing all of the things to make this dream come true, of wanting to do the thing. And we wouldn't be here if we didn't listen to that
yes.
spark of okay, intuition, it's telling me to do this. There's a reason that we're doing this. And that emotional intelligence is your intuition just leading you there and giving you the trust and the belief that you're doing all the things, you're doing the right thing when you're aligned with that emotional intelligence.
I
So
love that.
that's my download that kind of came through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even as you were talking, we think of the term emotional intelligence, has its own meaning, right? Like how your EQ.
Mhm.
But the other piece that also came up for me is the intelligence of tuning into your emotions, right? So it's a little bit different in
Ooh, I
that
love
it
that.
is, yes, that
Yeah.
there's something even deeper about the intentionality with which we pay attention to our emotions.
Yeah. And I feel as
Yeah,
you're
go ahead.
saying
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
so many people don't know
Right.
that, like
Yes.
how to deal or understand your emotions. Yeah, that's so powerful that you said that.
Well, even that you I could and should, right? That like culturally, right? We know for different pockets and in our society that a lot of the messages we get is like, keep going, rub dirt on it and don't stop,
Mhm.
don't cry, don't be this, don't be that, don't have feelings, don't be weak, don't be vulnerable.
Right.
And for us, we know that our emotions are the windows to our soul, right? Like, so that is where we truly can be ourselves, is by not ignoring, not avoiding our emotions, but being able to tap in and let them be here, even if it's uncomfortable, which most
Right.
times it is. Even joy for some people is very uncomfortable, right? Because they're like, wait, I don't want to be happy because then something bad might happen, or
Mhm.
right. And
Yeah.
that's less mainstream acknowledged, right? We know we don't love to be sad. We know we don't like to be embarrassed or all of those other things, but the gamut, the broad range of emotions can feel very, very vulnerable and uncomfortable. And what we both have intentionally worked really hard to tap in to them and give them space, like hold them here in this space. Pushing them away does not genuinely value or give that authentic magic that we have when we are able to have all of those experiences
Mhm.
right here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I feel like that is something we bring to all of our clients, is like sitting with the emotions, allowing yourself to feel whatever comes up, and like you can't really feel what comes up if you don't take a second to turn off and tune into your own self. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So many times we're trying to keep busy, we're scrolling, we're on social media, we're watching Netflix, we're doing everything to avoid the feeling, and
Yeah.
we're not feeling it and we're not coping with it in the right way. And so many people are scared to feel those emotions, whatever it might be, and they're coping with them in the wrong way because they've never learned what to do when we feel sad, or what to do when we feel
Right.
stressed,
Yeah.
or why we're feeling sad or stressed. And like these triggers, these things that are going off in our day to day, we don't like, it just keeps piling on, and
Mm-hmm.
you get buried in all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something just for me, and like going on a retreat, there was nothing else there. It was you and the space and just vulnerability, letting yourself feel all the things, questioning where they came from, and doing the work to move through whatever emotions came up. And that's really powerful to be able to sit in that and do it and do the work. And
Yeah.
when you're a mom and when you're a business owner and all these things, it's very easy to not find the time to do it.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point of this, is like creating that space where you can feel, cry, laugh, see yourself, see what's really going on in your headspace, and allow it to all come through, and know how to move through it in a healthier way.
Yeah. What came up when you were talking was the first time we saw each other after you got back from your
Mhm.
from your retreat
Yeah.
most recently, and I was just like, oh, tell me about like your energy. It was so fun to sit with you, um and to that point of being like a mom and a career person and an entrepreneur and a wife, a sister, all the different roles that we do, is that the getaway, the getaway aspect of the retreat is the part where symbolically and then also very literally, you're taking care of yourself. You are taking care of yourself. And by putting that boundary between all the other things and people that you take care of in your life, you're saying to yourself, to your spirit, to the universe, to all the things like, okay, I'm serious. I'm ready. It's
Mhm.
time. It's time for me to do this thing, because we know that it's not only beneficial personally, but then when you go back to your life, you're coming with this renewed, refreshed, restored energy, which is what I would love for you to jump right in and start telling us about with your experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. I would do my retreat over and over and over again. And how did this even come about? Okay, so I'm like trying to think, how did the pieces fall in? So a coach I've worked with previously with breath work and just coaching in general and friendship, really just from being online business owners. We That's how we met, Instagram, and her name's Maya. She was doing a retreat and I was very intrigued. She did two before and I like saw them, but I was like, I don't know. I'm not ready for that yet. But this year, back in January, I was like, something crazy is going to happen to me this year. Like in the
Mm,
best way. I was like,
mm,
so many good things I just felt it, that intuition, that emotional intelligence. Like I knew something is going to blow up for me this year, or like there's going to be a huge shift. And I just felt that in my body. And like Maya reached out to me a few days later and asked about a retreat, or was telling me about a retreat. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I need to go on that, you know? And I also in February signed up for a certification for NLP, EFT, hypnosis, like all this stuff. So on
yes.
such a deeper level, I was
Mm,
going through and learning all of the work, how to do it, doing it for myself, doing it for my clients. And then I was like, the retreat was going to be the end of my program, that certification. And I was like,
mm.
that is just talk about divine
Oh,
timing. I was
yes,
like, I have
yes,
to
divine
go.
timing.
And I was on the call with mine. She's like, so you ready? And I obviously, like, it's an investment to do that
Yes.
and like to pour into yourself and like go on a retreat this was for a week. It was it was an investment, and it definitely
Yes.
held me back from going, because I was like, do I really like, do I want to spend the money? Do I want to do it? And then the one morning I woke up and I was like, fuck it, book it. Like
Okay,
literally,
okay.
fuck it, book it. That is my motto. That is my energy. I was just like, I don't care. I need to go on this. There are payment plans. We're going to make it work. Like, just sign up, just do it. And I did. And after that, I was like, I am so excited. Like, just the
Yes.
excitement leading up to it was so amazing. And I really did not know what to expect on a retreat. I was like,
Mm,
I don't know. Like what, I was actually really nervous. I didn't know anyone going except Maya through the internet. Like I didn't know anyone else going. I was going to be in a house for a week for with strangers. And right when I got there, we all literally instantly became so close. Like we would talk about things that you would talk to your friend for 10
mm,
years of. Like nothing was off limits. And it just felt so comforting right when we got there. And having those other women there just to hold the space and for you to say the things that are on your heart with literally no judgment from anyone else, for you to feel whatever you wanted to feel and just cry if you needed to, for other people to see the amazing things in you and say it back, and you totally
I love it.
fully receive it, and like doing the deep work. Like it was so powerful. And during that retreat, I was, we did a lot of embodiment, a lot of mirror work, and I've never really done that, like really sat with it and did it. But we were full on looking at ourselves, like healing healing all of this stuff, the inner child things that come up, and really looking yourself in the eyes and being able to say and hear and receive all the good things instead of like picking ourselves apart or finding all the negative. That was so transformative to me. And I swear I came back and I was like, my body feels different. Like
Mm.
I feel like a whole weight was lifted off of my shoulders of, oh my God, this every single day, this needs to be integrated. This is something you can't just do for the week or weekend and then forget about. Like it is part of my practice now. And I feel like that kind of was the missing piece of like, I know all the things to do. I coach it. I do it. Like I'm telling other people what to do. And it's been a minute since I was able to disconnect from everything else, my day to day, my relationships, my family, my husband, my clients, and just shut off and be there to feel and receive all of that. Like it was so transformative. And right when I came back, I did come to your office. I was like, I feel like a brand new person. Like,
Yes.
have to do it. Like, we have to do this
Yes.
retreat. So it
Yes.
was amazing. Like, it's definitely, I think anytime you go to invest in yourself, the first thing that comes up is like, is it going to work? Like,
Mm.
is it going to be worth it? And I can tell you just from knowing Lyz and knowing myself and all the tools and modalities that we have together, like you are going to leave it a totally different person.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I have so much to say. I love that. I love it. I think one of the things sticking out is the word investment, and you touched on the investment of money, right?
Yes.
And it's also an investment of time and energy, right?
Mhm.
Because even thinking like when we were planning it, when we were planning it, actually like, okay, what dates can we do? And you're like, is that the only weekend you have, right? Because we're busy people. We have jobs, we have businesses, we have family, we have responsibilities. And I remember thinking like, oh, could, and I was like, no, I can't miss this thing. Right.
Mhm.
And for me, it was like recognizing that it is an investment because I want to be there 100% be there. Right.
Absolutely.
And so it's an investment of energetically, of money, of time, of your emotional energy, of saying, I'm ready, because it's
Mhm.
really scary. It can be really scary to think, wait, I'm gonna come home transformed. Wait, what might be gone? That like what am I gonna what's this scary part? And we don't know what we don't know. And I think that's also a piece of this that's really that you and I have talked about and continue to talk about over and over is that our journey, we approach our life as a journey. And I feel like personally I continue to work on what is blocking me from getting to that next step, that next level. And not always, like I do have to intentionally pause, rest, and celebrate. Like, okay, look how far we've come. And there is that trajectory of growth continuously. And so for me, I love the aspect that you said as well about our retreat and our plan is that we're going to help you while you're there intensely, right? We have lots of different things planned, and we will also then be helping you actually continue the work on a regular basis so that your investment is something that isn't just stopping when we say goodbye at the end of the retreat, that we have calls planned after and we have strategic steps to give you that you're going to be able to do this and continue to see the fruits of your labor, the celebration, the return on your investment
Right.
for forever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, and that's just something you don't know what you're missing until you're there and you know how much you can pour into yourself. Especially some of the people that are already coming. I I just know in my heart they are going to have so many more tools in their toolbox to use when they are at home to really continue all of these things. And we're going to be asking those questions of like that in between, like something is still missing. Like even if you have all the great job, your kids, all the good, if you still feel that something is missing, it's that connection with yourself. I
Mm.
really believe that. And knowing how to tune in to your emotions. What are these patterns? What's actually going on? What is that missing piece? And how do you integrate that into whatever comes up over the weekend? And I think that's something a lot of people, I don't want to say people are scared to do this work, but I do feel like people are a little scared to sit down and do some of this deeper, like the journaling that comes with it, or these guided meditations, or these practices that are going so much further than just the surface level stuff, because a lot might come up,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's where there's safety knowing that Lyz and I are there,
And we
right?
make a really good team.
Yeah.
We do.
But I
Yeah.
will, just to speak to that for a second, like I think I was talking to you about one of the techniques I learned, and I had
Mm.
such a bad experience with it, like whoever led me through it, and it being out of my scope of practice, where I'm like, that's my comfort knowing Lyz is also there. You're a psychologist, you know what to do. If something that is a little heavier comes up, we can talk through it during the retreat and after, to make sure you're, even though things maybe will come up, you know how to also deal with them and settle in and know how to address that too. I think that was a huge part, like knowing the comfort that we're both there to help through with whatever comes through too.
Yeah. Yeah. So it makes me really excited to talk about the illumination intensives that we have planned. So in my work as a psychologist and a therapist, one of the things that I love to do most is help people get in touch with the hidden parts, the shadow, the inner child, in a safe and trusting way. And because even though we may remember certain things, we don't know what we don't know. And so for us, what we have planned is the ability to have plenty of time,
Mm-hmm.
energy, space, support, with both of our experience in this work, to help go to the places that are really going to unlock and unblock some of the things that may be contributing to that part, that when you're like laying down at the end of the night and you're like, but something's missing, right? Like even if it's not in a conscious thought, it's kind of like tugging at the corner of our minds, and not only finding it, but finding it or letting it arise to the surface, because that is what happens when we allow the tension to fall away, when we learn how to take care of our nervous system and engage in practices to say, you are safe here, we are safe, but then to heal it, right? So the things that we are going to be implementing are neuroscience backed practices to heal the wounds, and heal not just the wound, but all the things we pack around it, right? Like the ice packs and the band-aids, that stitches that have figuratively and emotionally been packed onto our life experiences, that also contribute to that tension, that even I can feel it in my shoulders as I'm talking about it, where we carry our tension and our stress in our jaws and our throats, like stopping us from speaking our truth and using our voice, and just like feeling like the weight of the world sometimes rests on our shoulders. We're going to be healing that
Mhm.
there, and then helping to continue that process of unfolding and unblocking and healing and nurturing. And oh, I can't wait.
So excited.
Yeah.
So excited.
Um, yeah, because it's like, for when I'm working with people in therapy or at the circles where we're doing something, it's like we're there together for this period of time, and then I get to see you maybe next week or next month or something like that, and it's like this is packed, like all of this time and energy is happening right now, right at the retreat, right there. So you don't have to go home and go cook dinner and do this carpool, or, do this email and launch this
Right.
thing for work in the middle of like feeling like you've just opened up. And now it's like, oh my God, what do I do? Right. No, it's like we're opening up. We're spending the time to
Mhm.
nurture and heal and grow and fly and shine,
Yeah.
all packed into this weekend. Oh, I'm so
Yes.
excited.
It's gonna be amazing. And I think something else that I noticed, and just while Liz and I have been talking about retreats back and forth, is all right, Liz and I, we want to have like this amazing, like the illumination circles, the intensives, like we want to do the deep work. But guys, when you see this Airbnb, oh my God, that is so good. But we want it to be fun too. Like we do
Yes.
want you, like
Mm.
we want the space to do the deep work, see what's coming up, do all these intensive things, but also we have the pool, we have the sauna, we have the space, we have the hiking trail. Like there's time for fun and play and integration and relaxation in the woods. It is so freaking beautiful. And I think that's why I was definitely so drawn to it. And Liz too, we're like, this is it. If it's not here, we're not doing it kind of thing.
Yes.
And
I love that. Yeah.
yeah,
I
like
love that.
there's a balance of it. Like there is so much deep healing emotional work, but we are also going to make this
Have fun.
fun pool
Yes.
party, like so much good balance between the two things. So that's what a big thing while we were planning, and a big thing I appreciated during my retreat is like, we're going to be doing all this work, but let's go and also swim in the pool and hang out for the day. So
Yeah.
it's a good.
No, because I mean, both of us are very big into balance. I love, sometimes my clients like kind of poke a little fun at me because I'm like doing this all the time. I'm like, okay, but what about balance? And I love fun, love, 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 love fun. And I also know that sometimes fun can be really difficult for women, right?
Mhm.
We lose that fun sparkle at times because of all the stuff that's piled on top. And I will have people to say like, I don't even know what I like. I don't even know what is fun for me. And I'm like, let's talk about that, right? So we know what things can be fun, and we help you because it takes a little bit, it can take a little bit of um remembering and going back to what you did when you were little and you were just free and authentically yourself before all the programming, before all the cultural stuff that comes on top and tells you, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't sing. Don't dance. Stop. Be a good girl. Sit
Mhm.
quietly. Right? Like, no, go roll down the grass and
Yeah.
let's catch fireflies and let's, hum and sing and splash in the water. Right? Like, let's do the things that authentically light us up.
Mhm.
And to do that, it's the balance, right? Clearing the blocks,
Mhm.
because the blocks aren't only there that prevent us from being our best self and hitting our goals in our career. Those blocks keep us from having authentic fun without any of the stuff that sometimes we think we need, right? Like the other day I was at speaking at a winery, and I was like laughing and I was like, and I didn't even have any wine, right? Because I'm like, I'm high on life.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't know how to have fun without some of those
Mhm.
things that can release the tension and let us be feeling like, okay, I can have fun now because I had a drink. No, you don't need that, right? And so that is one thing I'm really excited about too, is that we're helping you unblock for all the reasons, for
Yeah.
especially for fun and peace and joy.
Yeah. And I think that's such a powerful, I don't know, this keeps coming up in my world. I don't know.
Yes.
Like the alcohol thing of like having
Mm.
a glass of wine to relax, connect, have fun, be the fun person. Like there, and just personally, there's been a lot coming up, these stories, this identity tied
Yeah.
to me and alcohol. And it's like, oh my God, like just that's a whole nother topic. But I think being present with yourself without anything and realizing, recognizing, connecting with yourself and recognizing you can have so much fun without it, and like you don't need it. It's just like I'm not saying to go sober or anything like that. I love my wine, but I've been hearing so many women like it's been an issue that's coming up of like you need it to feel connected,
Mhm.
or you need
Mhm.
it to feel happy, calm, whatever it is. Just knowing how to have fun without it and connect with that good energy, the hype girl energy, having like the dance parties, having the pool
Yes.
party, like having fun and showing yourself like you're all you need to have fun. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, and what I do love is us being able to be, you and me being able to be authentic with each other. I treasure that so much. So even just on the alcohol and the wine piece, I also love wine. And when we were doing a planning meeting the other week, I was like, let's have some wine. And you paused and you were like, I'm not really going to, but you can. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, wait, let me pause and think, why do I want a glass of wine right now? And
Mhm.
so we had talk about it, and on the surface it was like, oh well, we're ordering pizza, so I love to drink wine while I'm eating pizza, and then also being able to get to some of those other layers of like, oh, part of it is habit, part of it is, oh, this is just what we do, and then part of it are some of those stories of like, that this is what makes things more fun, right? And even just looking around and having that in my mind of seeing ads like wherever you go. And so
Yeah.
we're just to say that whether it's like you said, whether it's working, or having a glass of wine, or scrolling, or whatever the thing is that takes your mind away from some of the stress and allows you to feel like you're relaxing, we're going to be teaching you lots of natural
Yeah.
ways to do that so that you can take those with you for the rest of your life, right? And and
Mhm.
and use them to feel safe and to feel comfortable and to feel at peace and to feel joy and fun and jubilation. So
Yeah.
those are I'm excited for that.
I'm so excited. Yeah. All the tools we can bring in to just connect you with yourself, become aware of things like topics and conversations and questions that you probably have never even thought about, to just form that deeper connection and awareness to yourself and know how to regulate your own self.
Yeah. And I also think it's fun for us to talk about, like, as you kind of mentioned, or when going back to January and thinking of how both of us are very big believers of manifestation, and we have our own processes and use them, and tools and strategies and programs. And that for me has been one of the things that has been helpful, because as you said, I help other people heal, and it's all manifesting, right? Like manifesting something. Manifesting is just like seeing what comes to the surface, or seeing what's out there. And as we were planning this, we had this kind of talk about a retreat last year, right? So we did a circle together in January. We we attended a retreat, a vision board workshop kind of thing together in January, and lots of stuff were coming up around the retreat, and working together and doing these things, and even talking about it at our circle in January. People were like, yes, tell us when you do this. So we knew we knew that people wanted it as much as we wanted to do it. And then as we started recognizing some of the blocks, so that even that day that you came home from the retreat and we were talking about our retreat, and I had to work through some of my, like, an emotional block that I was like, wait, I have frustration and I have confusion and I have this here. And like, you just sat with me through that. You didn't try to tell me not to feel that way. You were just like, okay, let's talk it out. And
Yep.
that we have agreed and held each other accountable for that throughout this process. So it's about planning a retreat, but it's also this kind of beautiful symbolic plan for life, right? Is to be able to say, this is coming up for me. Can we talk it out?
Yep.
And we do, and we unblock. And like the next, like 2 hours later, we're manifesting something. We were like, oh my God, here it is, right? Because we talked about the block. And then we're like, oh my God, a caterer just, you will, I remember like messaging you like,
Yep.
remember when we said we needed to manifest food? Someone just emailed me, like out of the blue. And even the way we got the Airbnb, right? Like it was
Yeah.
like, oh no, we need these dates. They weren't available. Okay, well, we need these dates. We want this place. You looked for another place, and we're like, nope. And
It's not.
then bam.
And yeah, like so just to like put into context, like how much has manifested, like divine timing and all of that with this retreat. Like Lyz and I met, we started manifesting this back in, I think before January even. I think it
Oh
was,
yeah, like October, November of
yeah, we
24.
were
Yeah.
talking about like a
Oh
retreat.
yeah.
And yeah. So it all kind of started there. And then when we went to that vision board thing,
Hmm.
remember she was like, you
Yes, retreat.
retreat.
Point and we were both like, oh
We're
yeah.
both like, oh, okay. And then as we met and we're talking, like when I say me and Lyz have the most crazy manifestation things that happen, like really like the stories we have, I've never felt like such belief in universe, source, God, whatever you believe in. Like I've never, like all my experiences like that have been with Lyz because our energy and like we believe it together. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, we talk through the blocks and we talk through, oh my God, what if this happens? Or oh my God, like all that scared energy, we really like talk it and release it.
Get it
And we're like,
out. Yeah.
it's whatever. So, but
Yeah.
during that meeting we had, we literally met and talked about we need to figure out food. Like we want it catered. We don't want to be cooking. And also like this is the retreat, like this is the space. This is
Yeah.
what we need.
Mm-hmm.
And literally the next day, Lyz messaged me, forward me the email from a random caterer. Hey, do you have any events coming up? Like I'd love to cater
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
So like manifestation one. And then I literally reached out to the Airbnb because I was going to book it and it was booked. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn it. Like it needs to be this one. And I was just like, are you sure? Are you sure it's booked? He's like, yeah. And literally a few days later, he's like, hey, are you still interested? Those dates are opening up. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. So obviously we booked it right away and we're
Yeah.
trusting that,
Yes.
everything is going to work out exactly how it needs to. The right women are going to come to this retreat. The right women are going to have the most amazing experience. And when you're in the energy, like when Lyz and I are together, we light up and we magnetize. Like it's like all the good things, the downloads, everything comes when you surround yourself with people in that energy. And it's not just me and Lyz, it's you bringing your energy
Love
and
it.
you focusing on the things you want and the life you want to live and discovering those blocks that are in the way of that and going through it and talking it out so you can get the vision, you can manifest or whatever you believe in, whatever term it is, you know, you can have it. It's just seeing what comes up during the circles and during all of these practices, talking it out so you can release it and get closer to what you want.
Yeah. I love that you mentioned it here, and you also mentioned it a little earlier when you talked about the women who are already signed up.
Yeah.
In that, one thing that has been so helpful for me over the past year and a half in doing the illumination circles is building my trust muscle that the right people are going to be there. So for a different, I have a circle every month, and it's like, how the people change. Some people come almost every time, and then new people will come every time. So it's like a different energy each time. And what I have been learning through that is the right people are here for this event, for this time, for this moment. And that has helped so much with knowing that the right women are going to be with us on this retreat. And that for me, it's not only what we have, like what you just said, how I'm seeing it in my mind is like our energy together. When I am around someone like you, because you are authentic, I can be more authentic, right? Like I can say to you like, oh my God, we have to do this practice. I just heard about it. It's witnessing. Let's do it. Like we come to a planning meeting and we're laying on the ground at the lake looking up at trees. And I'm like, isn't this so cool? Right? Like we're doing this.
Yes.
When I can be myself, and you can be yourself and we can be ourselves, we are literally raising that vibration.
Yeah.
We are saying to us and anybody who steps into that energy of like, be yourself here. That is the bottom line, is be yourself, because that is the best version of you is your authentic version.
100%. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And I think just as you're saying that, you're allowed to be yourself, and I think that's hard, especially depending where you're at in your life. And a lot of the women I do talk to, they're the people they're surrounding themselves, they're noticing, okay, this is hard to talk about. Like, I want to be better. And the circle you're around is totally fine staying exactly where they're at and not working on themselves and talking really negatively or stuck in their own stuff. And you're wanting to rise and grow and be better. And you're stuck in that circle, maybe, of people who are not on your level anymore. And this is like a place where you're you're putting yourself in the room with women who are doing the things and living the empowered life and wanting to be more versus being status quo. Like that is
Yes.
so important. Like put yourself in the room with someone that is, not saying that Lyz and I are, holier than thou, but we're living it. We're doing the work. We're in it and have that energy about us. So if that's where you want to go and you want to feel better and you want to be better, it's like put yourself in the room to learn it from people that do it. And I think that's so important. That's like part of this investment is you have to do some sort of investment, time, money, financial, whatever, you have to invest in yourself to get yourself closer to where you want to be.
Yeah. And I'm having this like urge to talk about this. So I'm going to. When we were planning at the lake that morning, I had an experience in my morning practice where I had a vision of having been persecuted for being authentic in an ancestral, potentially past life. This is what women have experienced when we're authentic. The witch wound, I've talked about that here before. And so for me, it's having that recognition of shared experience, tapping into those collective unconscious experiences that we share as humans, as women, and to really be able to say, oh, okay, that's blocking me from being authentic. And now that I've seen it, now that it's come to the surface, I don't have to have that be a hold on me anymore.
Right.
And that was that morning. Like, and I remember sharing it with you and being like, oh, okay, I'm going to share this with you.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part, is that I'm continuously challenging myself to be more authentic. And I have learned even like very much more recently about blocks to my authenticity, are I'm fearing I fear disconnection. So on a very, very deep level, I just like recently discovered something that from my inner child was holding me back that I never put together, right? Because this is the thing. This is where divine timing comes into play with when you like slough off or shed the layers of tension and pain and avoidance and denial, like you're getting to that much more authentic version, that those things come when you're ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those subconscious processes, those visions, those memories, those like this aspect of this life experience comes when our system can handle it. Because I've been doing so much work throughout my life on how to manage my own nervous system, how to not freeze if I get scared. I had experienced a trauma at my where we used to live, and when I told my parents about it, very shortly after that, we moved away, and I did not, as my adult self, put it together that me speaking my truth, me sharing an authentic part of my life, then at my 7-year-old self led to us moving. And I was disconnected from like we moved states. So like
Wow.
I recognize that one of the biggest blocks that I struggle with in being my authentic self. Whew, and it's emotional. Like I can laugh because I can laugh authentically because I'm like excited. I'm so excited. I uncovered the block, but I can also recognize the pain of that 7-year-old version of me who made this meaning of
Mm-hmm.
I told my truth and we left, and now I'm disconnected from all my friends. I'm this weird new girl in second grade trying
Yeah.
to make new friends. And I didn't realize the power that had
Yeah.
until I was ready. My
Right.
nervous system was ready. My vision, my brain was ready. My spirit was ready to be like, oh, okay, now I can heal that part of myself. And this is exciting for me. And this is the stuff that
Right.
I'm talking about is we're doing the work too. And we've been doing the work. So we know how to help you do the work. And it's a continuous process of like growing and coming home to self, coming home to authenticity, and continuing to level up and
Mm-hmm.
grow.
Yeah. I love it. So amazing. Yeah. And I think just from you saying that story of like something that we could so easily brush off of like our 7-year-old self, and
Mhm.
this one thing that happened is the ripple effect in your life,
Yes.
like just the awareness to that piece of like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. And the fact that we're gonna, one, not only make you aware, but talk you through how to really work through these things that come up is so important, you know? So I think so many women don't even know some of this exists, right? Or, you know, it's the journaling, or, you know, we have our
Yeah.
cards and we have books and we
I
have
have
all
cards.
the things, like we have
Yeah.
all of it, but it's like until you do those the deeper work to really connect the dots and you're in a safe space to do it, like that's where you uncover these blocks and work through them and find the solution or find how to work through it and integrate the practices into your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say that like for me, there's the planning of this retreat and talking to you, and when you decide to do something like this, for us it's our first retreat we're doing, right? Like we have done plenty of coaching in individual and in groups and in intensive things that we are like, okay, this is the next thing. So you coming, getting in on this ground level, it is like so exciting for us for the women who are here. It's like you're our groundbreaking people with us. And And as we're doing this, we're growing too. When you said we don't actually sometimes even know this exists, one of the ways that I know when I'm like, ooh, there's something that just I have some unblocking to do. It's like when something comes up, like last week when you're like, hey, do you want to do this reel with me? Fuck it, book it. And I'm like, like I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. What if my kids see it? What if my parents see it? What, right? And I'm like, that's not like you. That's not like you to be afraid. Or it is like you, but then it's like, okay, you have to unblock something. And so I've been, right? Like I've been like, okay, let me do my meditations, let me do my journaling. And even it's all of the pieces for me. What happens in my process is pieces are out there. I'm like putting my hands for people not watching on YouTube, for people just listening. My hands are in the air, like pieces are out there floating around. And then at the right time, divine timing, right back to our little angel number message, they come together. And it's like, oh, but for me, I guess I think in a previous version of my life, I'd be like, oh, well, that means I'm not supposed to share it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to cut that part out, but I'm not
Yeah.
doing that.
No.
Because
Keep it.
one of the things that came from the vision when we were planning was you need to share what's in your journal, like share what's in your book,
Yeah.
share what's in your notebook. That in that vision, there was a little girl self of me before the move of like, I always had this journal. I was always carrying around notebooks and doodling and writing. And so that part is like, yeah, share yourself, because if there's one person out there that can identify, learn, grow, heal from us sharing our authentic stories, that's what it's all about. It's worth it. For me, I've done so much of the work and will continue to do work. I trust, I believe, and I know that when I get messages or experiences happen to me, I can share them in a way that helps other people feel like I'm not alone, can feel like me too, can feel like, oh, thank God someone's talking about this.
Right.
I have the trust that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And the more that I do it, the more fun I have, the more connection I have. And so where I'm, sometimes we have that like tension and conflict between what our mind says and what our heart says. And it's like, if you say the F word, you might lose connection with the people that you love. Or if you're yourself, or if you're honest, people might not want to be around you. And then I have, like, if that's out there in all of us on some level, it's the trust and faith that we know that we're always connected. We are always connected. And again, it's those pieces coming together in a way that I feel like, oh, I'm so at peace with who I am and love that I can be myself with the people that love me.
Yeah. I love that. And that's the most important thing, is like
Yeah.
being yourself and being good with who you are, and just connecting with that and allowing yourself to be yourself and say what you want to say and be who you want to be. And some people don't even know what that looks like. So it's nice to figure out that vision for yourself and step into the vision versus,
Yeah.
just keeping with the status quo of things.
Well, and I think too, one of the things that I love that we did around this retreat is have the ability for people to reach out and have a conversation with us about the retreat. If you're thinking about it and you're not sure if it's for you, ask us your questions. Ask us your questions and we will talk to you about it. In the show notes, there will be the link to the webpage where you can read more about the retreat. You can book a call with either one or both of us to talk about any concerns or questions you have, because we know there's details that aren't there that you might have, that you have questions. Ask us. And but you're gonna know. You're gonna know on some level when you read and you hear us and you see the things we're doing to share more about it. listen to your intuition,
Mm-hmm.
and you will know if this is for you
Mm-hmm.
right now. And it might not be for you right now, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that's okay, because we're going to do it again.
Yeah, the
um,
first one.
but but if you want to be here on the first one with us, this is going to be, this is going to be really special. So I'm very excited,
I'm so
very
excited.
excited for that.
Yes. Yes. Listen to
Yeah.
the nudge and just know you're gonna make it work. I'm gonna say it, fuck it, book it.
Hug it,
Fuck it, book it energy. And I was thinking there's like when there's a firm and there's Klarna, it's technically free. So when there's payment plans,
That's right, right. That's
that's
right.
what I did. I was like,
Yeah.
fine, we can just
Yeah. And yeah, things that I invest in and things that I offer that other people invest in, money, energy, time, emotions, is that we really recognize, like, if you stand back and look at the things that we invest in, whether time scrolling, money, hair. I've spent lots of money on my hair over the years. That this is for your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's kind of priceless. But also, I think importantly, too, as we're talking about, we've talked a lot about the retreat today, obviously, because that's what's the next big thing that we're doing. We do a lot of things, you and I, we do a lot of things. And so for truly, there's only 6 spots and 4 of them are gone. 2 of them are gone.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly there's a lot more people listening to the podcast that will not be able to attend this retreat. Tell us, Kat, what are the other things where people can connect with you and other things in addition to the retreat, that people who want to tap more into that magnetic energy, how they can do that?
So if you want to connect with me, I am on Instagram at that.rd.cat. So I'm like, I need to change my Instagram name. It's so hard for me to say that out loud. But I love, if you have any questions about retreat, please feel free to voice message me, text me. I will voice message you. I always voice message back. So if you have any questions on retreat stuff, feel free to reach out there or just connect there. But I am a registered dietitian and I'm getting certified in NLP, EFT, hypnosis. So the messaging that's coming up for me recently in what I do as a coach, like obviously, yes, we talk nutrition, we talk training, but my thing is I'm going to get you from being the woman who knows what to do to actually doing it.
Oh, I
So
love that.
whatever area,
Yes.
right? Like nutrition is my thing, but why aren't we doing the things we're saying, right? So I go on the deeper level with your subconscious mind, patterns, habits, routines that are keeping you stuck, self-talk, and I see the things that you cannot. So I make you figure out those patterns and acknowledge that and recognize that it's not just the meal plan that you need. So that's kind of my thing. And I have my group coaching program called Made for More, because you're made for more. You're made for a better
Yes.
life. So that's a little bit about me,
I love
aside
that.
from the
Yeah.
amazing retreat that we are.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. And so with me, as I mentioned, the circles. So if you are in the Lehigh Valley area or ever up for a road trip, we have lots of airports around us and you can drive here. So the monthly illumination circles are something that have just been a dream come true for me. I have lots of dreams come true and I love celebrating them. I do workshops not only here, but outside of here, and collaborate with amazing places. And if you are not in the area and want to connect virtually with me, I do offer an intuitive reading one-on-one session, which I absolutely love. So that is a mixture of me using my spiritual gifts and being able to help you tap into yourself on different levels of your energy in your mind, in your body, in your heart, soul, and your spirit. And there are aspects of that energetics that come when we're together in that space that I tap into, channel, and share with you as well to help you with clarity and help you with direction and guidance. So really getting to some of those layers and unblocking and getting closer to the path of authenticity.
Mhm.
Oh, I love talking about that stuff.
Good.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we have lots of things. We hope you can connect with us in some way. I have this podcast, and this is one of my favorite ways, is just being able to talk and use my voice to help us all continue to grow and connect authentically.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it.
Thank you so much, Kat, for coming. And thank you all for showing up authentically here. I cannot wait to connect with you next time on the podcast and wherever we go. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.